You really want to keep going? It's not too late to turn back. I think it might be. We've already been in danger since we began. Anybody searching into the family keeps winding up dead. Well, I'm not scared. Not if you aren't. Me? I'm terrified. Brucey, I don't think you should stay with me on this. Don't be silly. You say it yourself. Too many people are dying. What if something bad happened to you? I'm not letting that happen. I'm the only one she's worried about. You're not going to let me talk you out of this, are you? Nope. We'll have to let Maya know too. She's in just as deep as we are. Already on it. I just sent her a text. No turning back. We're either getting to the bottom of it all, or... maybe I shouldn't think about that. Let's start with the occult building. Ms. Porter might have some answers stashed in her office. It's sad. It's really sad. She ended up just like her sister. I haven't forgotten what I promised you. I'll figure it all out. If you and Jimmy are watching, I won't let you be disappointed. This was Ms. Porter's office. She must have already been dead when we came to the door. From the looks of it, she didn't go down without a fight. I'm just starting to like her. I hope it was quick. We were hardly friends, but I never wanted this for her. I promised her I'd solve the case. Now I'll have to be extra sure that I do. I wish you could have seen it to the end with us.
Oh, pal. What's your analysis of the crime scene?
Just at first glance, it looks pretty basic. The killer was waiting in here and attacked her when she came in. He then escaped out the window.
That's what we were thinking. It's just the first floor. It'd be doable.
Are you in charge here?
Detective Mark is over at the first murder scene. The department felt he might be too emotionally involved with this particular case. Plus, it'd be hard to investigate both here downtown and the other place at the same time.
Is her murder officially connected to the other two?
Prosecutor Von Kammer wants us to come at it this way. You didn't know the victim well, did you, pal?
No, but still, it's a lot. Well, I'm worried. He was trying to point me in the right direction, and then this happened. I'm scared, Gumshoe. I don't say that a lot, but I am.
All this killing won't stop until we get to the bottom of it. You know I'll help you do that. I'm with you, pal.
This desk looks ransacked. Just look at those files everywhere. Somebody was looking for something.
We did find one really strange thing lunged underneath the desk. Well, you see this. Her office was bugged.
This was hers.
What?
I recognize this make. She used it at Karain.
She was spying on herself?
Probably in case something like this happened. Anybody would notice these cameras up. Anybody would notice those cameras up there. But this? Did it pick anything up?
Well, can't say. A device that small couldn't hold much memory. Everything would need to be transmitted, like a radio.
Transmitted to where?
Well, if you think it was hers, maybe to this room?
How about we find the recorded audio data? Could have picked up something from the murder. It looks like she put up a fight.
Maybe. I don't think it lasted very long. She might have tried smashing some of this at her attacker. Was it the other way around?
Either way, she didn't go down peacefully. I never imagined her as an avid reader.
Most of them are on supernatural topics, like spirits and all that.
Her job was to report on that stuff, so it's not too crazy. Did those cameras see anything?
No, not a thing. You're not going to believe this. Those cameras aren't even real.
Wait, she kept security cameras in her office just for show?
Seems that way. Doesn't make any sense to me.
This Porter never was one to make much sense. But dang it. Fake cameras? At a time like this? There she is. We might find more looking at Miss Porter. Let's take a closer look. Hey, she's holding something. It's a note.
What does it say, pal? Is it a message identifying the killer?
Nothing so obvious. Control B, Control C, Control T.
Sounds like a bunch of computer jargon. Do you understand any of it?
I was hoping you did. What are you looking at me for? Is this some kind of internet code? It looks like just some key commands to me. I guess you could use it online. Do you think she's trying to tell us something? That's what my gut's saying. Well, Control B will open your bookmarks online, Control C copies something, and Control T opens a new page, I think. Gumshoe, can that computer get us online?
That one? Not a chance. The killer busted its CPU.
It won't work at all? What if it doesn't mean something on the computer? The killer saw the paper and smashed the computer. Maybe she expected that. So it's a code for something else in this room? He was holding the note right there. The killer would see it. Maybe. Where should we look? Did she suffer?
Death wasn't instant, but I think she must have passed out pretty quickly.
I think she knew what she was getting into.
Doesn't make it any better.
No, not really.
No matter how much I see death, I can never get used to it. Especially when it was somebody I knew.
No questioning the fact that she's only got one shoe? Carried that spray everywhere. But a lot of good it did her this time. I hope her killer got at least one good faceful. These books. Think that might be the bookmarks our note referred to? Some of them have pages marked. Now that you mention it, most of them do. What were the other two clues from the message? Copy and opening a page? She has two copies of the same book. Maybe we should open one of them. Daddy, it's a tablet! And a wire leading back into the wall. Gumshoe, can you get this checked out?
Not a problem, pal. I'll have the tech guys get cracking on it right away.
What do you think is in the other book? Can't hurt to check. Some kind of medicine bottle. What's in it? I can't really tell. There's a little label on the side. Can you read it? MN6 poison vial. But wait! Doesn't it look familiar to you? You're right. It does.
Familiar? Like, how do you mean?
This looks just like the one from the photo the suspect was carrying when he was arrested. This might be a direct connection to the Jameson crime. Not just that, but MN6! This could be big! Ms. Porter may have died protecting this bottle. Gumshoe, is there any way to tell if this is the same one from the photo?
Well, they look the same to me. I'll have my guys blow up the image in your photo and they'll check it over. Want me to call if we find anything?
If you can.
Great, pal. I'll have them look at the tablet.
That was where the bug was sending its signal?
That's what I think. We'll know for sure soon.
I'll come back when they're ready. Now, let's see what we can dig up elsewhere. This looks like a simple murder. Could Mr. Yossarian really be behind it? I should return to the first crime scene and see if the others know more. What can you tell me?
She was stabbed right in the center of the chest.
Yikes. Poor woman. Stabbing. Well, we know there's one person it couldn't be. It would be a bit hard for my client to stab her from the detention center.
We know it wasn't him, but he's not the only killer in the family. You know he's the mastermind.
An assassin. So that's gonna be their argument. Did you find the weapon?
No. Don't know how much else I can tell you. Besides a dead body and scattered objects, this place is spotless. You'll see what I mean if you take a look around.
I'll do that.
Although, now you're here, maybe I do have something else to show you. You really should see this.
What'd you need to show me?
Okay, get ready for this. We found these beside her body. It's pictures of you and Mr. Williamson. I think it's a warning.
Those aren't the first photos I've seen with red X's.
You made that connection too. Somebody might be out to get you, pal. Watch your back.
But maybe they just want to scare me away from getting any closer. Let's not bet on it.
Well, don't worry. Mark and me won't let anything happen. You can count on us.
Yeah, and me too. My own personal army of bodyguards. Bad guys beware. The window's open. Was it found that way?
The lock was forced. Somebody broke in. They closed it enough that we couldn't tell at first glance.
Did you get any prints from it?
No, there aren't any fingerprints at all, and no glove prints either. Nothing's even been wiped off. There was some oily residue from a person's palm, but we don't keep records of that.
That's just the window?
Nowhere.
No fingerprints? And how is that possible?
Either our perp's a ghost, or he just plain doesn't have fingerprints.
A printless killer? How are we going to track down that? And that should be everything, eh? Good show there today, lad. I have nothing to say to you. Oh, well, that's not a good attitude. They'll never get anywhere like that. I won't give you any more ammunition to use against anyone else. Isn't that what you plan to do to me? Blaming poor old Mr. Hood for this. He just accused you and Jane of double murder. Aren't you upset? Not in the least. There's not a thing you can do to touch us. You tried accusing me, and I won. We're not suspects in murder no more. I'll charge me with perjury and that'll be that. That's a felony. It's not just a slap on the wrist. Aye, so it be. You don't want to talk with me and yet here you still are. Right up with the man who's your prime suspect. You'd want to leave, but you can't. Can you? Maybe I'd like to leave, but I can't. We might be in the same boat. Well, Mr. Wright, if you're so fed up, go ahead and walk away. Why'd you go after Miss Porter? Just as you thought, I'm sure. She was the easiest target. You're a real jerk. Oh, it wasn't nothing personal. It was the logical choice to accuse. And you helped me right to her. Thank you greatly, my friends. How can he say that so calmly? Hey, all they're talking about her. How do you think she was killed? No, we're not playing that game again. You're not getting anything more out of me. Such a shame. You're a big help. Guess I'm on we own from now on, eh? You're darn right you are. I've called your alibis into question. What were you and Jane up to? We don't need to cover this again, do we? We'll go over it a million times and I won't change a word. Would she? You can try, you can. She's no idiot. Jane won't say anything she don't want you to hear. Don't think you're on standing ground with me, lad. We've both got rock-hard alibis thanks to you. If you want to bring in me Jane, you'll be challenging everything the prosecution said. We can do that? I'd say not. Otherwise you'd have used it today, am I right? We'll see. Ah, the future tense. Still stumbling away in the dark, I see. You're throwing off this case in more ways than one. I'll catch on to you, Mr. Hood. Somehow. You're the lawyer from before. The lawyer from the trial. That's me. Mr. Hood told you what you did. He says we can't trust you. He wants me to be careful around you, not to say anything. Compromising. That by itself could be considered a compromising statement. Yes, I can be very compromising. Looks like somebody's a few cards short of a deck. Did you kill Mr. Jameson, Jane? If I did, he would not be the first. Who else? I killed Mr. Hood. But we just saw him outside. He must have made a miraculous recovery. Warmer? Or maybe I was wrong. Maybe. Warmer? Maybe I almost killed Mr. Hood. Eh, close enough. Could you tell me again how you almost killed Mr. Hood?
You want me to tell you again? Mr. Hood wouldn't want me to tell you again.
You seemed eager last time.
Yes, he wants me to be sure I match what he says. Good thing I'm very good at repeating things.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Shall I tell you then? I broke the bottle while Mr. Hood's back was turned. Then, when he came to clean up the mess, I took the shard and cut his throat.
But his throat's fine. It was his hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe that was just me fantasizing. I took the shard and stabbed his hand.
Jane, kiddo, maybe you should stick to repeating yourself.
Mr. Hood said he cut himself. You dare question me? I stabbed Mr. Hood's hand. By my own hand.
Did you really?
Yes. You think I would mix up something as simple as that? I'm confessing my guilt to you, worm. My guilt.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that. For more reasons than one. Are you sure you stabbed your father? Why would you do that?
He's not my father.
No offense, but that's a pretty terrible reason to stab somebody.
Mr. Hood is merely my caretaker. My true father will return someday. And then you will all rue the day you were born.
The 21st century and we're still using the word rue? Who is your real father?
Silence, peon! You will not question me! You think you're so clever, but guess what? You're not! Ha! I will be the one questioning here! Do not defy me!
Are you listening to what you're saying? You're hitting every trope in the book and then some.
I will have my revenge!
Oh, why bother? And then throwing questions at me.
Who do you think killed the dead man, Mr. Wright? The one buried in the forest.
Mr. Guildenstern or Mr. Rosencrantz?
I suppose it does not matter. Yes, them. Who killed them? Mr. Hood says you think it was me. You think I killed those men?
I'd prefer not to say.
Ha! Then perhaps I'd prefer not to say what happens to little lawyers digging in deeper than they should.
They find the right verdict and have a happy ending?
No, they don't. They do not.
Well, that's no good.
That was a threat, I hope you realize.
Yeah, I caught on to that much. Her threats sound comical, but perhaps I shouldn't take them so lightly. Jane and her caretaker are dangerous. I see that much. I need to keep a close eye on both of them. Their story directly conflicts with his. Did she really stab him? I'll have to confront them both about it sooner than later. Alright, move to the forest. Okay, there we go. Oh, hey, you're back.
You're back.
I guess that...
Silence, you! Phoenix Wright has a lot of explaining to do. What do you think you're doing?
What I always do, I guess.
Defending a known mafia officer? Have you no shame?
To be honest, it's not the first time.
Fool! I would hope you'd know better.
Maybe not. Yeesh, a friggin' whip? There's gotta be some kind of OSHA law against that. Listen, the only reason I took this case was because Williamson made me believe the killer was a suspect.
Well, he isn't. He's not even in the country, so forget about him. Obadiah Williamson told you that?
It was definitely his intention to have me as the defense.
Fool! You let him play you like a child's toy. I don't know the man well, but I do know that he is a schemer. He might have good intentions, but that doesn't mean he has your better interests in mind.
You don't think I should trust him?
Judge it for yourself. I've hardly ever interacted with the man. You know him better than I do. He intentionally led you astray. You'd be crazy to put any faith in him.
Can I really say that I know Williamson at all? He tried using me to convict Pearl. It didn't work. Maybe that was for the better. He didn't care about how I would feel about accusing her. He just wanted the arrest. No more. After this, I'm going straight to his office to get the truth from him. How are you taking Ms. Porter's death?
I'll manage, thanks. Maybe I should have seen it coming. She was playing with fire. Just like Sandra. Who am I kidding, man? It's friggin' deja vu is what it is.
I'm sorry. I tried warning her something was fishy. I really did, Waters. I thought we should be more careful.
It isn't your fault. I bet they would have gotten her eventually somehow.
It was a real stubborn oaf, that one.
A stupid, stubborn oaf.
Seem to be getting close. Or at least closer than we are.
You gotta get who did it, man. I gotta get him. Gladys was always trying to avenge Sandra and never gave up. But I did. I friggin' just gave over. I friggin' just gave up over them killing my wife. I'm gonna make up for that. I'll help you get whoever did this, no matter what. I don't care who it is.
I'm with you.
It's too hard for me to leave this crime scene, all with 2 bodies and all. So you'll be doing most of the legwork.
As expected. Don't worry about it. We'll get this guy. You have any leads?
I'm not working on a murder. That's Gumshoe. But we're looking at her like she was connected to the others. It had to be something she said the other day. That's the only way it makes sense.
Why else would anybody kill her?
That's the thing. It almost has to be the family. Dr. Dreesen brought us her report. Handed it right to me. It's pretty simple. Nice and straight to the point. If you see anything suspicious, you let me know. I hate not being able to leave like this.
If it really is all connected, you might still find something here.
Maybe. We might. I'll keep an eye out. I'm not gonna screw this one up. I won't let myself.
Doesn't look like Williamson is here. Should come back later when he is. Alright. I'm missing something. I think either Finnegan Hood or his daughter is hiding something big from us.
You can think all you want. We'll see. The man's shady, but he's not the killer. Did he tell you about his past?
Parts. Enough to know he's crooked.
He wants you to distrust him. When people don't trust you, they're predictable. People like us. People like you. You think he was covering for the girl?
I'm sure of it.
She's every bit as shady as he is. I looked into the police files for them both. She wasn't originally his. She belonged to his last client.
I heard. Ironic, isn't it?
Not as much as you'd think. Did he tell you how she came under his care?
I'd assume the other guy disappeared somehow.
Disappeared? Ha! He was murdered. What?
Murdered?
About a week after Finnegan Hood was disbarred for forgery. Jane Hood's biological father was killed just a few days later. Do you know who did it?
I might have a hunch.
It was that brute, Shelley the Killer.
There's our connection to the card. Somebody who worked with the killer before could remember the design. They could plant it on the crime scene to throw off the police.
They wouldn't even need a new one if they'd kept the original from the old crime. Wait, are you guys saying that Mr. Hood?
Do you think we could prove it, Francisco?
It would be more trouble than it's worth at this point. Do you think he somehow masterminded everything we're dealing with today?
He just keeps getting worse and worse the more I learn about him. I'll keep you updated.
And you. This case is too important to let pride get in the way. I'll fully admit your client isn't the only suspicious character out there. I can't say I approve of your defending him, but surely you know what you're doing.
Actually, I don't. I went into this blind. Mr. Yossarian hasn't given me much to go on.
Who?
Alan Yossarian, the defendant. My client.
Phoenix Wright! You took a case without knowing who your client was?
No. Well, yes. No. Yes.
Foolish fool! I thought you'd matured past this foolishness.
It was an impulse decision. I wasn't thinking clearly, and I realize that now. Okay, I'm a fool.
You go down to the detention center now and talk to that man. It would be in your own best interest to drop this case immediately.
Yes, ma'am. I felt something was up. I'll have to confront Mr. Yossarian about this soon.
No matter how much we learn, there's just so much more left. We'll never have enough time. Mr. Williamson, Mr. Yossarian, Mr. Hood, where do we even start?
That's a good question. My hands are full. 3 murders. 1 million suspects. Everybody with their own agenda.
Maybe it'd be better if we searched different places at once.
You want us to split up? Dude, kid, haven't you seen any old B horror movies? That's a horrible idea.
Whoever said anything about being alone? I'll be here with you, Mr. Waters. Out of the question. We are not babysitting here. I'm not a baby. You were younger than me when you started. That is a different matter.
Lucy, I just got a death threat from the family. I know firsthand they have no qualms over killing children. You're lucky you're still investigating with me at all.
I'll be safe here with Mr. Waters and Franziska.
Trudy, I can't. Not after...
Stop it! Stop using her as an excuse.
I'm not. I have to protect...
Yes, that's what you wanted to do, and now look where we are. This will never end unless we solve it, and we're running out of time. The trial ends tomorrow.
I won't put you in danger.
What did you tell me? I'm already in danger. I have been since day one. I knew that. And I will be in danger unless we get this done and get it done right. You are not responsible for Pearl. Would she want you to compromise this case just because you feel guilty?
No, she wouldn't. You're right. We need to split up.
Phoenix Wright, have you lost your mind?
No, not at all. I maybe just got it back even. Lucy's a smart girl. She knows what she's doing.
Well, I'm not going to be the one watching her.
Don't worry. I don't think that will be an issue. Will it, Trucy?
They won't even know I'm here.
Go get him, Tiger.
I need to go talk to Mr. Williamson and see what he's hiding. I'll help solve everything from this end. There's only 24 hours in a day and we'll never finish otherwise. We don't have a choice.
No, there's always a choice. But I agree. We don't have time. I'll meet you back here later. I'm going to speak with Williamson and clear this up once and for all. You lied to me, Williamson.
Did I?
You told me about the killer just to get me to take the case. But he isn't even on the same continent. You knew that.
What I said was that we found the card at the scene. And we did.
Don't give me that certain point of view stuff. I've defended that slam bag so far. I deserve some answers.
Yes, you do. By now you're getting deep enough that I can trust you to make the right decision. It's time you learned the truth about your client.
Alright, stopping here.